afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I've been out the game for a little bit, but I see that Kenny and Kevin have found some gems from days past in the life and times of DSP, and some of the opinions that people have of him. I guess they found a nice little treasure trove of it. So I guess they'll put that up periodically or when we feel like we're going through some slow times. So there you guys go on that. I see that the I see that the guys put up the calendar yesterday, and someone tried to get that flag down. You're wasting, whoever it is that's doing that, man. Go ahead, keep doing it if you like, but you're wasting your time. But go ahead though, it's amusing nonetheless. It's amusing nonetheless. So we see that, but it's still available. You know what I'm saying? It's age restricted. It is what it is. It's only really for a niche audience more than anybody else. But let's see. That's everything off of the bulletin board. I might start doing that from now on. Do like a short mental bulletin board of things to come. But I hope you guys are doing well at the end of the day. That's really all that matters right now. Hope you guys are doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Mr. Stuffs, Dspgaming, community strike, and it's Google's fault. Now this right here is the tail end of Phil's channel going down for about 12 hours, and come to find out it's all over Google Plus spam, which is absolutely hilarious. Because one, like I said, I don't have a Google Plus account linked to this account here, and neither do we have one for the second channel. So I don't. Well, but then again, you know, these channels are only like 2 years old. So for Phil's, I guess when they integrated Google Plus, and then when they eventually disabled it, either A, he never clicked the button to disable it, or B, he just never looked into it, or whatever the case may be. He said he never used it. Then come to find out later, he did use it to follow Panda on a couple of posts, and that's it. Now, you guys are probably still wondering, oh, well, what was it that Google Plus did to him? Well, every time he posts a video, it sent out a link for it to, I guess, whoever that's following him on Google Plus, which I would assume nobody, because I personally don't know anybody who uses it. But in any case, I guess he shorted out a server or something because of how many links it kept sending out every day, and that led us to the situation that we are at currently. Well, that's what led us to the situation to where his channel was taken down. Then he gets the channel back about 12 hours. He had a nice little 5-hour begathon. Got maybe 2,000 out of it, is what I'm hearing at the end of the day. And people are looking into the individual who gave him that $1,000. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But according to Almighty Tevin's stream that I had seen last week, that guy's a regular. He's been around for a little while, so that is what it is. So Phil gets the channel back. His channel is all discombobulated, and he actually has to enable all of his videos again. So he does. He does a massive he does a mass basically re-upload of all of his videos. The problem is Phil lost between 1,000, some people say about 3,000 subscribers, because obviously people's people's sub boxes just got filled. I actually saw that happen to Tevin and Argent in real time on their streams, that just immediately got flooded. Just everything that they had originally was wiped out because all of Phil's garbage was being sent up there. But that's not why Phil got the community strike. Phil got the community strike because in the bowels of Dspgaming, there are some gems. There are some jewels that, to a troll, to a detractor, to someone who was unsure about DSP, it's a revelation. You know what I mean? It'll open your eyes to what the man really is. And one of these particular videos that should have been erased, this pre-stream should not exist outside of something that's on the hard drive of every detractor. Phil had the pre-stream where Fapgate happened the first time around. Why didn't Phil delete it? There's a couple of different ideas behind it. One, he didn't want to lose the views. Okay. Then, you know, two, he privated it and he thought he was going to be fine. He really should have just unlisted it. There's a bunch of frames of thoughts on why Phil didn't do it. Honestly, he should have just deleted the video and taken the L. But whatever. That's what ended up getting him the community guideline strike. But it could have been worse, because his racist top 10 moments, he has a couple of those. Those came out. There's some gems in there that could really hurt Phil. Now, granted, there are detractors out here who have those videos now, if they didn't already have them. So it is what it was. But not only that, for some of the new guys stepping into the mix, myself, James Lesser Express Lane, Memology 101, Gout Police, whatever, a lot of the newer generation of detractors may have not have seen or even heard of some of these videos. So now you have a whole new generation that can look at it with a whole new set of eyes and make something masterful out of it. And it's just videos that maybe just some of the other detractors just may have forgot about. He puts up so much stuff and he does so much stupid shit that it's easy to forget. It's easy to, it's hard to keep track of all that stuff. And that's what that was. So Phil is going to talk about this community guideline strike, and he's going to also say how it's Google's fault. I'm currently recording this on the 13th of June. I don't know when this will go up. I know tomorrow is supposed to be Axe the King, and I know that Axe the King is supposed to be serious. And the fact that he's supposed to basically talk about some of his personal problems, something that he said he wasn't going to do. I actually did a video on that, talking about no more personal information. Never got a chance to post it, but we might put it up now, just because, I don't know, it needs to go up. So he's gonna unveil something. There's a bunch of different theories on what that situation is. I like one that James the Lesser Express Lane, shouts out to him, he actually came up with something. He had a really good one, where because of this whole the community strike, this whole thing with his channel, that Curse may have chosen to drop him. Now, Curse is looking at him a little bit closer and being like, man, this guy really worth the trouble. Because, as you guys know, Phil has, what, 3 channels under Curse? He has Dspgaming, he has King of Hate Vlogs, and then he has KO Gaming. Even though he says KO Gaming is useless, I'm actually going to do a video talking about that, and actually we'll see if we can try to get to the bottom of that. That's going to be under this new series I want to start called Gout and Wine, and we'll see how that works out. But we're going to talk about some of those type of issues or some of the things that Phil says in depth later on. But like I said, something happened in the future. But that was actually one of the frame of thoughts that was out there on Twitter, and that was actually a very good theory. Another frame of thought is Cat left, or Cat's no longer there. Another theory that's being posed is that it has something to do with his AdSense account, or in truth, it's not his. His is gone. It's either Panda's or it's Cat's. So there's all kinds of interesting theories on what might come out tomorrow. We'll dissect that. Whenever we get around to that one. But it should be interesting nonetheless. But let's get into this video. I've spoken to you guys. I've already kind of dragged this on long enough. Let's get into the video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG network and productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work. Like I said, I hope you guys are doing well. I missed y'all.
By the way, I got a freaking community guideline strike on my YouTube channel, Dspgaming, already. Just so you guys know. And it's because the incident from 2 years ago, that video had always been set to private, and because I made all the videos public, that video apparently now went public, and so someone flagged it and they got a copyright or a community guideline strike against it. So now Dspgaming has a fucking guideline strike against it. Isn't that nice?
And no machinima to make it all go away. No machinima to kiss it and make it all better. He's got to eat it. Unless Curse can come through and help him.
Even though, legitimately, it's not my fault. It's YouTube's own fucking fault. Isn't that nice? Thanks for being very patient. Thanks for being very, very supportive today. As my Dspgaming channel was taken down, and now it's back. I don't know what's going to happen. There may be more shenanigans. I already got a community strike against it for a video that I had private for 2.5 years and got accidentally put public because YouTube fucked me. And then they decided to give me a community strike against the video, which is ridiculous. But all the other stuff should be all right. I checked. Pretty much all the other videos that are on there that are out of the ordinary are just like pre-stream videos or archive streams of gameplay that's already live on YouTube, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So it should be all right. Shouldn't have any issues. And hopefully everything will be all right with Dspgaming moving forward. I guess we'll see. Okay? Yeah, actor Michael Mrhuth, I'm not surprised. He says he went incognito, meaning he wasn't logged in at all on YouTube, and he searched for Vampire, and I came in as the 101st person playing the game on YouTube. Isn't that nice? Boy, let me tell you guys, it is refreshing to have a morning here where...
Now, like I said, he should have deleted that video. He should have. Or he could, you know what he should have done? This would have been the smart thing to do. He was so panicked and he wanted to get every little shilling he could get his hands on that he didn't go through and maybe take a quick skim of some of these videos and be like, all right, let me go through some of these real fast and see what's what that might cause a problem. But he didn't. You know what I mean? And well, that, and he couldn't massively upload 50,000 plus videos at once anyway. So he should have broken it up a little bit, but the problem is maybe, and honestly, it's probably unrealistic. He has, his body of work it's too much. It's way too much. And so he forgot all about it until people brought it to his attention. You know what I mean? Until the trolls got their hands on it, and then more importantly, until they flagged the hell out of it. So, yet again, he did it to himself. His greed got the best of him, which is something that happens to DSP quite a bit.
I wake up and I don't have any kind of bullshit.
But, in my opinion, he should have taken an hour or two and just scanned through them and been like, I don't know what's in this one. Let me private that one for right now. Or if there's a group of, pre-streams he's not sure about, he should have gone through and privated some of those things and then go back later. There was no hurry. If anything else, he should have just put the stuff up that was important, which was apparently Vampire and some of those early, those most recent playthroughs. That's what he should have focused on. He should have grouped those up and gone ahead and enable those. And then wait and periodically do everything else. But Phil wants everything done right then, right there, and it costed him yet again, which is, yet again, something frequently that happens to him.
Shit going on. Like, I really needed this today. I just needed to have a day where I could come and stream and have fun, and I have to worry about nonsense. After yesterday, yesterday, as you guys know, oh my god.
Smart.
Another one of these stupid, days where just crazy stuff happens, completely out of my control. Obviously stuff done in error as well. That's the other thing. I was thinking about this last night. Now, for those of you who don't know, here's what happened yesterday. I doubt that many of you don't know, because most of you were here yesterday, but my Dspgaming YouTube channel was suspended.
Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, this, yet again, is Mr. Stuff's Dspgaming Community Strike, Google's fault. This was published on June 7th, and I'm currently recording this on the 13th.
Ended, but it wasn't. And what I mean by that is it wasn't the YouTube channel that got suspended. It was the Google Plus account that was linked to that channel. All right, but which was done by mandatory requirement years and years ago. It was like 4 years ago or more. YouTube required everyone have a Google Plus account linked to their YouTube channel. Okay, and I never used this Google Plus account at all. But somehow this Google Plus account had gotten shut down because it were flagged for spam. All right, which I don't even use it. So how is it spam? Right? So. Because the Google Plus account was suspended, my Dspgaming channel got suspended. And it screwed a lot of stuff up on the channel. No one could...
Yet again, it was flagged for spam because every time he posted a video, a link went with it. And now, in hindsight, he probably realizes that because he probably commented on a couple of videos that Panda had put up years ago through Google Plus. And he probably gave them a positive, like a thumbs up or however it works on Google Plus. I don't know, I never used it. But he probably gave it a positive thumbs up or whatever the case may be, and just moved on with his day. Not really understanding what Google Plus is or even how it works. And that's what ended up coming back to bite him. But why now? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, why now? Why would Google Plus care now? But, well, let's continue.
See it? I lost my verification status. There's going to be a lot of repercussions of what happened here. Because I'm going to now suffer negative consequences, and I'll tell you about that in a moment.
The verification check mark is kind of like on Twitter, you know what I mean? Where it just kind of solidifies who he is, basically. And him losing that, it doesn't mean anything. Just like on Twitter, to be honest with you. You having a check mark doesn't mean anything to anybody, really, except for you. Granted, on Twitter it's a little bit different because people impersonate each other all the time. But on YouTube, it doesn't help him in the search engine or anything like that. At least not that I've seen. It just verifies that, as far as I see, that he's Darkside Phil or DSP, and he has over 100,000 subs. That's it.
Guys. So, what happened was yesterday live on stream, we figured it out. We figured out what was going on. And I appealed. All I did is I appealed the Google Plus suspension. I said, all I did was click appeal. I didn't even write a message. I just clicked appeal. And within 5 hours, it was fixed, meaning the Google Plus account was unsuspended, which means the whole thing was done in error anyway. Basically, I was suspended erroneously, and this is all Google's fault. It wasn't anything I did wrong. Google fucked up. So, I deleted the Google Plus account. I unlinked the account for my DSP Gaming channel, but all my videos on DSP Gaming were set to private, so I had to mass enable them to all be public. And then when I was doing that, I noticed a few things. Number one, I lost my verification status. So I don't have a verified YouTube channel anymore. Not that that affects anything. It actually doesn't at all. It affects nothing whatsoever. But it just sucks because I had it for years, and now I've lost it because this whole thing that had nothing to do with me and me doing nothing wrong. All right, that's number one. Number two, all of my videos had to be made public again, and as I did this, there's a few hundred videos that have always been private. In particular, when I used to stream on YouTube, the stream archives of those streams were all automatically set to private, okay? And all those went public. Videos that shouldn't have been public went public, like private Q&A videos for patrons from 3 or 4 years ago, all right? Just a lot of stuff that should not have been public went public, and there was nothing I could do about it because I had to mass change all the videos from private to public. There was no way I could have selected certain ones to not go public. It was either all or nothing. So as I did this, guess what?
That can't be true, though. Like, I'm sure there was a check mark next to each one. And like I said, he would, granted, though, too, like I said earlier, and I admit this, he would have had to probably go through pages upon pages of stuff. But yet again, go ahead and enable the videos, or your playthroughs, I should say, that are recent, and then take the next couple days or even the weekend or whatever the case may be, and scroll through the rest of them that you're kind of not sure about. It's things like this that could have been taken care of, you know what I mean? And more importantly, if he had just enabled his Vampire videos, which was the hot thing at the time, he might have been higher up in the search. But that's neither here nor there. His verification, like I said, we've already explained that. It means nothing to really anybody but him. And I'm sure Curse is behind the scenes trying to work to get that back for him. As for, he had made another point. Oh, when he said about he disputed the whole situation with Google Plus, and then he got his channel back. That means he lied on pre-stream, and that whole 5-hour begathon, he basically was dishonest through that whole period of time because he knew that it was coming back. He basically admitted it right there. So there you go.
But all of my subscribers on YouTube were mass flooded with these videos in their inboxes. And so I lost over 1,000 subscribers overnight because people were just angry. Oh my God, Phil flooded my inbox, which in reality I didn't. It was
in reality you did. But like I said, 1,000 subs at the time. Some people say he lost as many as 3 up to now, give or take.
Google's fault, but I had to do it in order for the videos to be able to.
So then it is your fault because you knew what was going to happen when you enabled all those videos. So you can go ahead and blame it on Google all you want, but when you enabled all those videos, all those links were going to be sent out to your subscribers, at least to the ones that aren't dead subscribers, which is about 1,000 to about 3,000. Everybody else, they gave their dead subs anyway, or bots. I'm just saying.
We watched. So I did it, and I lost over 1,000 subscribers overnight. And I'm taking a look, and basically views are way down on DSP Gaming. People saw the channel and got pissed that it flooded their inboxes and didn't watch the videos. So my Vampire playthrough from Tuesday, the first 5 to 10 videos have okay views, and then after that, half the videos aren't even watched. I made 20 videos on Tuesday. Half the videos don't even have 300 views because people were watching the playthrough and couldn't keep watching, and now they're angry that their inboxes were flooded. So, now they're not watching the videos on DSP Gaming anymore. Isn't that nice? Now, in addition, it changed the name of my channel. I had to fix it. It changed it from DSP Gaming to DSP Gaming Channel. And so this morning I removed the channel, so now it just says DSP Gaming again. Thank God, because that might throw people off. People might see that and be like, "Phil it didn't used to be called Channel. Is this not really him?" You know. So I fixed that, but basically I'm pretty much, am I happy that the channel came back as quick as it did? It was gone for about 12 hours. Yeah, obviously I'm happy it's back, but now I got to suffer all of these negative consequences because Google made an error. Google erroneously shut down my Google Plus account for spam when I don't use it and don't spam over there. And now, my DSP Gaming channel will probably have way less subs, lower views, and for a while, probably people are not going to be watching stuff on it because they're angry that they got flooded, and it sucks.
It should suck because now he has an idea of exactly how many people are actually paying attention to his channel. Like people who are subbed and who actually watch his videos. And even out of that 1,000, or at least at its highest 3,000, he had less than half of those people watching his videos on the regular. So if anything else, that should feel a bit disheartening. Out of 160 plus thousand subscribers, you're upset about 1,000 to 3,000 subs who have dropped off, and that's actually his active viewer base. That has to be a bit disheartening, I would think.
It's bullshit. It's not my fault. I literally did nothing wrong and violated 0 rules. But now I have to suffer because Google doesn't know how to do their jobs. But ladies and gentlemen, aren't we used to that? Right? I think we are. We're all used to Google not doing a good job. Because this is how it's always been on YouTube. They fuck stuff up, and now we suffer the consequences. That's, if anything, in the 10 years that I have been on YouTube, the one thing that I can say is my number one complaint is the utter lack of responsibility that Google or YouTube take for their own actions. They take 0 responsibility. Oh, we're going to do this site-changing thing, right, to completely change how YouTube works. Oh, it screwed over your channel. Well, too bad, right? No responsibility whatsoever. They never fess up. They never say, oh, sorry. They never actually fix things. They just do things, and you get negatively affected by them. And they never care. They just don't care. They just keep doing it. And
that sounds a lot like himself, to be honest. It sounds like he described himself almost to the T. That's Phil being very self-aware there.
Always been like that, and it sucks. Because as I've said many, many times, if there were an alternative to YouTube, if there were another site that could compare to YouTube, right, I would use it. I would use it. But at this point, there's nothing that could compare to YouTube. And as I said to you guys, DSP Gaming is important for those who cannot watch my streams. For some reason, there's thousands of people.
But here, let's be honest with each other for a minute. When Phil says that if there was another site out there besides Google and that he would use it, of course he would. But that doesn't mean he still wouldn't mess with YouTube. He would upload all of his stuff onto this new platform, whatever the platform may be. But are you going to tell me he's still not going to keep uploading the YouTube also? Let's be honest.
Who cannot...
It's just another revenue stream is what he's saying.
Watch streams or archives on Twitch because they say that the quality is either too high or the bandwidth requirements are too high. For whatever reason. They can't do stuff over here on Twitch, so they watch on YouTube. And I'm okay with that.
Actually, I was... like I said, when Almighty Tevin did his stream recently, he was talking about that. How Phil's settings are too high. So he's screwing himself over, basically. Those people who are saying, oh, I can't watch your stream because of whatever the case may be, in some ways, that's Phil's fault. His settings are too high. His settings are way too high. And hence the reason why his, Phil's videos, for the people who have to download them to make their art, to make their works of art, that's probably why the file sizes are so large also. Probably. You know what I mean? And it's not like the quality is any better. You know what I mean? And that's probably why a lot of people downscale his videos before they download them, because it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, what is he doing his King of Hate vlogs in 720p for? And to be honest with you, when you see him on stream, it doesn't look like 720. It doesn't look like 1080. My bad. It doesn't look like 1080p. You know, it barely looks like 720. So what's the point of all this? When Phil says that, oh, I'm bringing you these high quality streams. I mean, visually they're terrible, and then there's no substance to them really, unless he gets prompt into saying something. But to each their own, I guess.
You know, I'm totally okay with that. But it sucks because it makes me still dependent on YouTube to archive all my stuff. Now I'm nervous because now it's going to happen. You know, I just lost over 1,000 subscribers. Were those active people who were watching my content?
Told you. I told you. Like I said, he's slow, but he's not stupid. And like I said, now he has to sit there and really think about, wow, how big is my fan base really? It's not that big. It's really not. Like Twitch is a perfect example of that. How many people does he really have sub to him? 300? Maybe 320? Maybe 350? Maybe? Other than that, everybody else is just subbed or gifted subs. Phil knows that, and the sad part about it is Phil has accepted it. You know what I mean? He's okay with his numbers being inflated just to get him over the hump leading into the next month. But you know, that's what happens when you settle.
Troll subscribers, right? Because I do get troll subs who just want to see the videos to make negative stuff about them, or were they legitimate viewers who were just so pissed about the whole situation? All right.
Well, a troll sub is no different than a regular sub. They're still watching the video. A view's a view. Just saying. And if anything else, a troll sub is probably more dedicated because they're actually going to watch the video the whole way through. Most of Phil's fan base won't.
And now they're never going to watch again. And, you know, not to say that viewership was bad, but viewership isn't spectacular on Dspgaming. Typically, I get between 1 and 2 million views a month, and it brings in a decent amount of income. Is this now going to permanently be negatively affected because Google screwed me over with this? And it is 100% their error. If it wasn't their error, why would they have restored my Google Plus within hours? You know, it was their own error. As I said, more than likely, it was exactly what I thought. It was a stupid algorithm that they wrote. Oh, here's an anti-spam algorithm. No human will ever go, look at this at all. We'll just run an algorithm, and it fucks everything up. You know.
But then, doesn't that mean that you admit that you were spamming the system? If they have an anti-spam algorithm that would only enable itself or react to spam, that means you were spamming the system then, yeah, Phil? If not, you would have just, flown under the radar. You'd have been fine if it wasn't spam. I'm just saying. I'm just going off what Phil says.
Oh, and I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. I'm tired of having my life, being dictated by automated means, by, stuff that has nothing to do with anything I'm doing. I did nothing wrong, and I now have to suffer consequences and punishment, because of what they did, what they screwed up. But
that's your fault, though. Because at the end of the day, you didn't take the steps needed to do what you had to do to preserve your future. You're always going to be at the whim of somebody else and at somebody else's decisions. You will always be that way because at the end of the day, Phil, you can't stand on your own too. You don't have any money put away. You're not invested in anything. You're not even invested in yourself. So you're always going to be at somebody else's call. There's always going to be somebody above you who's going to make a decision, and it's going to affect your life because when times are good, you didn't save any money. You didn't put anything away. And the people who are giving you money now, you're either A, you're in so much debt that you're dependent on it, or B, you're pulling a Christian and you're just spending it on dumb shit while still crying poor. Either way, it all comes back to you. So you can't sit there and get mad at Google because, oh, this, that, and the third, when you made all this money, and if you had saved it, not even all of it, as Medicare had said, just save a percentage of it, you'd be okay. Would you be great? Nah. Would he be comfortable? Yeah, he'd be comfortable. His bills would be paid. He wouldn't be so nervous and whatnot. And he might actually concentrate, if he can, he might actually concentrate on the quality of his content instead of the quantity of it. But at the end of the day, that's Phil's fault. And no one owes him anything in trying to correct that or trying to fix it. That's all on him. But if you guys want to keep, people want to keep white knighting for him, go ahead. He's a money pit. The more money you throw at him, the more money he's gonna want, and you'll be doing it forever. Well, until you guys wake up, and eventually you will. Or he pulls a brightside Viking and just throws you guys to the wayside. Whatever comes first. DSP news.
But anyway, I mean, the good news, the silver lining here, the channel's fine. It is there. It is still partnered. There's still ads running. You can still watch all the videos, and there were many series. For example, my Monster Hunter run on 3DS from years ago, my Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright videos from years.
That's another thing too that I'm sure any of you guys who are longtime viewers, you see this. He'll always, it's the negative, then positive, and then back to negative. Poor me, please give me money. It almost works in that it almost works in that sequence. You know what I mean? He might shift it every once in a while, but it almost works the exact same way each time.
Years ago that have been set to private that are now public again. So there are some things that positively came out of this. Well, unfortunately, for the over 1,000 subs that will never watch my content again, not so much. Okay.
Now keep in mind though too, some of those playthroughs that he's talking about, he screwed up himself because he was afraid they were going to get flagged for whatever reason. So either he modified them and messed them up even worse, or he just privated them altogether. So in a way, he's right. There's gonna be some gems in there that maybe some of his longtime viewers are really looking forward to watching again. At the same time, some of those playthroughs he was never gonna make any money on anyway. So he should have just put them up there just for the viewership, if anything else.
So guys, that's the deal. Dspgaming's back, but I have no idea what the long-term repercussions, alright, of what's going to happen here, to me, are going to be. I could now see a significant dip in income on YouTube permanently, because the other thing you got to realize is that when a channel gets suspended, there's other negative consequences. People were telling me yesterday they couldn't even find Dspgaming. They would search in YouTube search for Dspgaming, and my channel wouldn't even come up. Now, will that be fixed now that the channel's back? I don't know. I have no idea how it works, and I don't think anyone does, because, that's the problem with YouTube, is they're not transparent on this stuff. And I didn't do anything wrong, yet the channel was gone for hours, so now that it's back, will it still have the same stuff that it used to have, or now am I screwed? I have to ask,
He should know. For being on a platform that long, and for someone who, of his channel size, who has resources available to channels his size. You know what I mean? Where they talk about, because bigger channels or channels around his size or bigger even talk about this, that, there is a particular, I wouldn't say a newsletter, but I'll use that as the example, kind of like a newsletter that is sent out that gives some creators an idea of what they're doing. Now, does it tell them everything? No. So he's right about that. They're not completely transparent, at least not with everybody, but they give them broad strokes. He doesn't read any of that stuff. So, at the end of the day, that's his own ignorance that hit him with that. That's his fault. It is what it is. Now, as it pertains to his channel being taken down and coming back, it helped him out because, like I said, it almost gave his channel like a soft reset. Now, granted, if you guys go to detractor channels and you look at their related channels, you're going to see Dspgaming coming up. And that's because of like I said, that's because of him enabling his related channels. But I think this channel being taken down and being brought back up also helps with it also. Like, he's almost every channel that I watch that's a detractor, his channel pops up. It's exposure. And it's exposure that he needs. You know what I mean? If you look at his E3 coverage, I didn't watch any of it. I went ahead and just watched it on my own. His views are okay. Like 4,000, I think someone was telling me. I think somebody on Twitter said some of them were up to 6 or 7. Is it great? Is it like everybody else who's in the 50 or 60,000s? No, but it's probably better than what it was.
For Vampire, these videos that I've uploaded have been live for almost 48 hours now. How is it that half of them don't even have 300 views? You see what I mean? So I get the feeling that now people are just not watching videos anymore, and I might be screwed over. So I don't know. I shrug. I said, I don't know, what's going to happen. I guess we'll find out. I got to just move forward positively and not dwell on this, because if I do, it's just going to, piss me off and keep me in a bad mood, which I don't want to do. You guys yesterday, you came out in droves, you supported me, you were here on stream, and were incredibly supportive with, cheer subs and tips and everything. I mean, not only did we hit the monthly sub goal, then we hit a tier 2 sub goal and exceeded it. You know what I mean? Like, we really, people were crazy supportive. People were showing, listen, you've been around for 10 years. We appreciate that. We like what you do. And, to hell with Google and YouTube screwing you over. We want you to still be here. And I appreciate that, guys. I really do.
He's not going anywhere. He makes it sound like, Google or YouTube tried to chase him off the platform. They didn't do it. And even then, he has nowhere to go. He has nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? If Twitch can chase him off and he can be upset about it. But YouTube's not going to. He's not worth it. At least not right now anyway. And yet again, he's under an MCN. Let them figure out what they want to do with him.
I really do. Appreciate you coming out and showing the love. I'm here every day to share my gameplay experiences with you and to have fun with you on stream. And the fact that you guys come out to support is very, 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 very inspiring. It inspires me to want to keep going. It does. It inspires me to say, listen, there's people there who care so much. They want to see this continue. It really means something to them. So, even though I'll now suffer negative consequences for doing nothing wrong, I'll still push through and persevere, and hopefully things will work out. Okay, so there you go. That's all I really want to talk about yesterday. I'm done with it. It's bullshit. It's over. Hopefully there'll be no more ramifications, no more repercussions, and things will just get back to normal. I've got E3 coverage coming up, new games coming out in the next few weeks, special events coming out with Patron's Choice and the Master Run Challenge and Street Fighter. We got all this extra stuff going on soon that I hope people will be excited for and come by and check out. I don't want to dwell on this one day of bullshit that I had to put up with, okay? All right. Please, I don't want to know about people stealing my content. I don't want to know about, someone restreaming. I don't want to know about someone made a nasty video about me or made a new controversial crazy theory. Like the latest crazy theory that yesterday I orchestrated all of that, and all of that was completely just fake. And my YouTube channel really didn't get shut down. It was me doing it. And,
Well, the channel didn't get shut down. Like I said, the channel was hidden. It was hidden for about 12 hours. Is it possible that you did something behind the scenes to cause that to happen? Yeah, it's possible. The spamming argument on Google Plus just doesn't hold enough water for me. For someone who spams shit, man, damn near 100 videos the weekend previous, or at least on that Friday it might have been, because he put up a bunch of those 2 or 3 minute matches. So anyway, in any case, for someone to have spammed as many videos as Phil has for as many years as he has, and all of a sudden Google now wants to hit him without any warning, just to hit him off the bat like that, off the rip, nah, man, nah, not at all. Think about what Phil was trying to do up to this. He was trying to do the low tier god, the whole low tier god situation. I'll talk about that in another video because I have a theory about that, which I was talking to somebody else about on Twitter, which might ring true. We'll have to wait and see on that one. He was trying to do that. He had his debacle on Twitter where he had pissed all these people off, called them shills and whatever. Then, like, a couple of days later, he's like, well, how can I get more followers on Twitter? You know what I mean? He wanted to pull that nonsense. And obviously he wants to get more followers so he can get more exposure. Well, for the few people who use Google+, you know what I'm saying? His links being shot out there would just be part of the course. Why would Google stop that now? Especially with so few people using it. I mean, are they trying to revamp Google+? No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? They gave up on it almost as quickly as after a few years. But Google+ shouldn't even be a factor in this equation. He pulled something. I don't know if like I said, I'm thinking it's like a soft reset of some type. And I've been looking into it, and it had its own risks either which way if he was attempting to do it. But it makes a little bit more sense than just Google+ took him down over spam. It's funny. It's hilarious. But it's not, at least for me, I don't feel like it's enough. It's not enough, especially with Phil being pushed further and further down in the algorithm, and he sees it every day. You know it was working his nerves. So you know he was looking for a solution, something quick, to help fix this. And it ended up screwing him for a little bit. But if you look at his channel now, it might have not have been the bad move. But that's neither here nor there.
Of course. Of course, I purposely shut down Dspgaming and then flooded everyone's inboxes with, thousands of videos so that I would lose over 1,000 subs and no one...
You did flood their channels, though. I mean, you did flood their boxes, and you knew that, Phil. You knew it. You knew it. Because Phil knows how the subscription boxes work. You know what I mean? And did he take any consideration to that? People used to complain to him when they had 20 or 30 videos a day being sent to them. You telling me that this guy didn't realize that, if I go ahead and enable thousands of videos at once, you know what? There's going to be some people that are going to be upset. Are you telling me he didn't know that when he hit that enable button? Stop. I understand the sheep might be, Phil's personal flock of sheep might be that dumb, but for everybody else, there's common sense.
Would watch Dspgaming ever again. That was all me. Of course, I did that intentionally to get attention. If you can believe it, there are actually people saying this. That's how crazy some of these people are. All right, it's pretty out of control.
Oh, you mean like how you said that you don't watch detractor videos? You do. How you don't block people on Twitter for giving you criticism, which you do, and how this is the really great stuff. How I do not take down, or nor do I endorse people taking down detractor videos, and we all know you do. You did it recently with one of Snorpernell's videos, and recently, I think it was yesterday, or was it today? It might have been today. It might have been this morning. I don't know. It was either yesterday or today. Voltboy had his stream flagged for harassment by some DSP fanboys, I would guess. So don't talk all this hot shit, Phil, about I don't advocate for people to do stuff, or I don't do it, or whatever the case may be. Just about anything that that a Phil supporter does is in his name in some way, shape, or form. Now, am I saying that Phil actively may have known about the Voltboy situation? Maybe, maybe not. I couldn't say. But I wouldn't be surprised. Because if you see when, Tevin streams, for example, and you see that there's people in Phil's chat that are watching Tevin stream and are saying, that Tevin's doing this, that, and the third? Tevin's doing this? And Phil just looks at it and doesn't even answer it anymore. Because he knows that it's just going to piss him off even further. So, trust me, Phil, there are plenty of conspiracy theories out there on you. I plan to cover a few of them moving forward, but they're not all frivolous. Not at all.
All right, now...
They're more amusing than anything.
For people who cheered Silvertip during the stream today, we've got to start off with Lord Lamb V3, who did a 25-bit cheer. He said, "What's up, Pimp? How you doing?" Well, let me tell you, Lord Lamb, I'm certainly doing a lot better today than I was yesterday, as you know. I love it on a day when I can just come on stream, play a game.
Like you haven't done that before.
Talk with you guys, have fun, and have no drama, and just have a smooth sailing kind of fun experience. That's what I love, I don't want to have days where I have my heart is heaving into my chest and I feel like I might lose my livelihood because of some crap that's completely out of my control that I didn't do wrong, right? And this happens, sadly, a lot. How many times, how many times in the past few years has stuff happened that's not my fault? It's one thing if I misbehave and, oh no, my Twitch channel got suspended because I did something bad. That's a completely different situation against, Google Plus suspends my stuff and I have nothing to do with it, and now my YouTube channel's gone. I mean, come on. It's so stupid. It's a night and day, the difference between these kind of things. And sadly it happens, and then I got to deal with it. So I'm happy to have a fun day here. We don't have to deal with the drama. Just fun gameplay stuff with you guys hanging out, feeling like it's a more chill situation. And that's a good thing. Feeling positive for the day, and I hope you guys are looking forward to today's streams. Johnny Soares Charity says, "Can I ban Google from the channel?" I don't even know, does Google actually come into the channel? Because I think they actually track metrics and stuff. Wasn't it years and years ago, when I first started on Twitch, people told me that there'd be bots that would come into the channel. There was like a Google bot and there was like a Yahoo bot, and I guess they would come in and try to track stats and shit. I don't know. I don't know. But no, let's not ban Google. Let's not ban them. Let's be nice. Because then maybe then they won't, you know.
Let's be nice after saying that they don't know, that they're not doing their job, and by proxy YouTube's not doing their job. But now you want to be nice. All right, whatever.
Erroneously shut down all my shit and cost me, 1,000 subs and viewership. It would be nice. Okay. Shout out to Last Rambo, who did a 100-bit cheer. He said, if you did not get your DSP Gaming channel back, you can make a new account and re-upload all 40K videos. Last Rambo, let's be realistic here. It took me 8 years. And by the way, I have the total. It was 46,112 videos. That's how many videos were on DSP Gaming as of last night. Now there's more because I uploaded the Third Strike videos. So probably now there's like 46,000, 125 or something like that. Okay.
And that's something to be proud of? That's insane. That's absolutely insane when you think about it. You know what I mean? Think about that. In 8 years, that's what you've produced. And that's just what he's produced on DSP Gaming. You got to still think, he still had Darkside Phil, you still have DSP Gaming, or you still have KO Gaming, you still have King of Hay Vlogs, you have DSP Street Fighter, or whatever other random channels he has out there. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And of course it's spam. Everything he produces is spam. It's a meat byproduct. It's not, the raw steak, well seasoned, waiting to hit the grill. It's the leftover pieces. It's the hoof. You know what I'm saying? It's the ears. It's the snout. It's the pigtail. It's just ground up to look like something that it isn't.
Okay. It took me 8 years to upload that many videos to the channel. Do you realistically think I would be able to do that again? No, of course not. If anything, if I had to make a new YouTube channel, probably I would, worst case scenario, I would try to upload the best, biggest playthroughs people like or have liked over the years. Not that I even know that I'd be.
You could do that now. To be honest, I mean, I know people don't like me giving you advice, Phil, but in truth, you could actually do that. Matter of fact, because I don't believe what you're saying about KO Gaming, or I don't believe the fact that the channel's been blacklisted. Yeah, do I think some of your videos got demonetized? Sure. Just like you said they did on DSP Gaming. You could just dispute it, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then start moving forward. But you're too lazy, I get it. But what you could do is you could just make another channel. DSP playthroughs or something. I was going to say DSP Classics, but I think you already have a channel out there called that. And just upload all of your past playthroughs there. It couldn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? There you go. I mean, I would say he could put the Nintendo ones there too, but he wouldn't be able to monetize those. But he would bring in viewership. He could monetize everything else. But, what do I know? I'm just a detractor.
Able to do that because keep in mind, let's say for example, we want Phil to upload his, his I don't know, Mass Effect 2 playthrough or something, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of an old playthrough everyone loves. I would have to manually find that fucking playthrough in all of my archive hard drives, of which I have right on my desk. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 hard drives sitting on my computer desk. Those are all the videos I've archived since I moved here in Washington.
Why are they all just sitting on your desk? Why don't you put them in a box or something? Why don't you try to organize that pig pen, man? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had a conversation with somebody about this the other day, where he complains, like, if you go back and watch his DSP Tries-Its, he complains about, they don't put my sandwich together well, or my burger's not stacked well, or I want everything neat and concise like I keep my house. But your house is just as sloppy as the food that he eats. So what are you talking about? That's just like how he tried to say, the reason why the house isn't as clean as it should be is because Panda didn't keep up with it. The house kind of fell into disarray because I let her let the house fall into disarray because I kind of picked up the habits of the people that I live with. Remember when he tried to say that dumb shit before Cat showed up? I mean, whatever. Whatever.
Bins, my storage bins, Then I moved across the country from Connecticut to Washington. I've got about another 12 to 15 hard drives. So you're talking me going through all these hard drives.
It'd be funny if a couple of those are dead. It'd be funny because you got to periodically check those hard drives just to make sure, that they work. You know what I mean? And I assume that he hasn't looked at or even tested any of those hard drives in years. It'd be hilarious if he lost the data that's on there. I mean, granted, don't be wrong, he can get it back. There are data retrieval programs out there for free, by the way, that he can get. But it'd be hilarious if that was the case, or if some of them don't work, if some of them have been broken in his move from across the country. Some of them might have not have made it. Just saying, he's not gonna know unless he checks. But it'd be kind of funny if that was the case.
I have to try to find these videos and then trying to.
And before anybody gets butthurt about it, he could literally just download his videos off YouTube. It's no big deal. So I'm not saying that shit to be malicious. I mean, he has other means of obtaining those videos. I'm just saying, because he's lazy, because he doesn't want to take the initiative and whatnot, and because he won't try to cover his ass, it'd be funny if some of those hard drives didn't make it. That's all I'm saying. It would be funny.
Trying to upload, it would be a huge nightmare. All right? A huge nightmare for me to try to do that. So, I don't know what I would do. Last Rambo, real talk, I don't know what I would do. If I lost Dspgaming permanently, I don't know how I would proceed. I mean, it would be a huge blow. It would be an 8-year legacy gone from the internet. It would be everyone's favorite playthroughs from 8 years wiped out. Even people who don't like me tell me they still have playthroughs of mine that they enjoy and they like to go back and watch from time to time. Even people who hate me say, I do enjoy this playthrough from Phil or this playthrough from Phil, and it would be a shame to see it lost, right?
If that was the case, they would just download it themselves. I really wish he would think before he talks. I really wish he would. Like, to be honest with you, there's very few playthroughs out there that Phil has that you can't see on the internet somewhere. And the thing is, if people hate him, like Phil says, Phil probably has them blocked on all media. So how would they be able to say that to him when they can't speak to him? Think about that the next time Phil says some silly shit.
I think everyone collectively agrees. Even if they don't like me, they don't want to see the Dspgaming channel gone. So, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I honestly don't know. Last Rambo, and that's kind of what I was saying last night. I don't know how I would approach it. I have no idea. I'm just glad we don't have to face that situation today. Let's put it that way.
But one day you might, and maybe, just maybe, like with that hard drive situation, you might want to take some steps to put yourself in a better position. You can hope all you want, but hope doesn't put food on the table, Phil. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't put gas in your car. It doesn't cover your 2 mortgages. After, you're going to have to do something. Just saying. DSP News.
Okay. Hardy Buck 5 cheered and says, has the stress level lowered? Well, yes. I mean, the immediate threat has passed, which is good. People can watch the videos on Dspgaming, so the immediate threat is over, and I'm happy about that. But it's like I said, Hardy Buck. Now, of course, I'm nervous because the channel, number 1, lost 1,000 subs. You know what I mean? It lost 1,000 subs. Over 1,000 subs, actually. Because people were flooded. Their inboxes were flooded with videos. They were like, well, fuck this. And they unsubbed. And the views are down. Like, I noticed almost no one checked out Vampire or Vampire, whatever you want to call it, probably because the channel was down. And now, because the channel was shut down for 12 hours, does that now mean, because I lost my verified status, does that mean now I'm not in YouTube search results anymore? Does this mean...
Phil, you just said in the beginning of this that your verification, check mark doesn't mean anything. And it doesn't. So don't try to bring that back up like, oh, that might actually have been relevant now. It doesn't mean anything. It really don't. If you're suffering in the search engine, it's because you're suffering in the search engine.
I won't get the views I did. You know what I mean? Like I said, Dspgaming was a very important part of my income, even though it's really an archive channel for me. it still brought in a lot of money. And now, what happens if the channel gets half as many views as it used to?
Then you go from 49,000 a year to 25. That's what's going to happen. But it's funny though. Like 6 months ago, he used to say, "Oh, it doesn't really contribute much to anything. It's streaming. Streaming's where, and your guys being generous and being positive is what really pulls me through it." Now all of a sudden, I need to run back and tell you guys the truth, and tell you that you know what, YouTube is really important. It's super important. You know what I mean? It's a big chunk of my income. When 6 months ago, oh, it's not. It brings in money, but it's not like what it was. That's why I'm turning it into an archive channel. Just saying.
Because YouTube fucked me. That's not good, and that's going to be a horrible thing moving forward. That's going to screw me over. So, we'll see. Is the stress level lower? Yes. Is the stress level gone? No. This whole thing, this whole rigmarole with Google Plus and everything, could end up being something to negatively affect me for a long-term deal, and that's not good. Something I didn't do wrong. I did nothing wrong, and got punished for it. And again, the main problem I have with Google and YouTube, they are not responsible or accountable. They will screw everything up, and they never take responsibility for it. We fixed it. Well, yeah, but now look at this. Now I'm going to suffer all these repercussions because you guys fucked my channel over, right? And now I'm just supposed to grin and bear it? No, you should help. You should fix the problem. You should actually get my channel re-verified immediately. You should put me back into search results, right? You should compensate me for the day that I couldn't make ad revenue. But they don't do any...
You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot for saying that. First things first. Should they... First, I don't think it was a mistake. I don't know why they actually hit him. So, we'll just leave that at that. I don't know exactly why they hit him. Like I said, I still think it falls a little bit on him. Certainly, it should fall on Google in some way, shape, or form. Should they try to work with him and be like, hey, let's at least try to get your little check mark back? Fine, so be it. They're not going to change the algorithm for you, Phil, which is what he's trying to say. He wants YouTube to basically give him a clean slate on the algorithm and then insert him back in up at the top. That's not happening. He's been complaining about that for years. So that's not going to happen. 2, compensating you. Did you not pay any attention to that zombie go boom situation? Google isn't going to compensate you shit at all. So you might as well go ahead and leave that to the wind also. They should compensate you for a day. What are you pulling, Phil? $2,000-$3,000 a month, maybe? You want a couple of $100 for your time? If that, not even a couple hundred. So, and is that supposed to make it all better? You're fucking joke, absolute joke. No one's compensating you. Just you have your channel back. Why can't you just be grateful? Despite whose fault it may have been, he has his channel back. Just be grateful and just move forward. You know how many people get their channels taken down every day for lesser shit than what Phil's going through? He tried to supposedly champion those people on Twitter. You know how many people have gotten their channels taken down for the dumbest shit and never get it back? And just have to start over from scratch? But Phil, in his little 10-year legacy or 8-year legacy or whatever, feels that he should be treated differently. That he should be special. That he's the, what's that phrase he likes to use? He's the exception to the rules. No, that's not how the real world works. Because if that was the case, Phil, you'd have a job. A real job.
Yeah, because they don't care. To them, you're just a number on a page. You're just a piece of data in their line of code. You're not a person. You're disposable. That's how they treat people who make content on their website. And it's sad and it's disgusting, honestly. It's immoral. But I've had to put up with it for 10 years. It sucks.
So you had to put up with it for 10 years. So you knew this for 10 years. Let's just say. He knew this for 10 years, and yet he didn't put any safeguards up for himself. He didn't try to plan ahead in the day that Google would end up screwing him over. He didn't put any money aside. He didn't have any backup plans. He didn't do anything. I mean, shit. I bet you anything Brightside Vikings' wallet would be convenient right now, Phil, if you didn't throw him under the bus, allegedly, to save yourself with Twitch. I bet you anything Brightside Viking would be, what he used to give you on a regular basis. I'm sure you're missing that. And as you should, to be honest with you. And to throw him away over something that probably was never going to hit you anyway, and that's if that theory's true, speaks volumes for Phil. He doesn't think. He can't. Not until after the fact when he's been smacked in the face a couple times. And even then he still doesn't get it.
It sucks being treated like that, but, you know, all these things are why I can never be stress-free. You know what I mean? All right, shout out to, they call me Jim Bob, who cheered. He says, I know you were apprehensive at first, but I'm glad Dinah solved the issue in the end. Well, she didn't. I did. Because if you remember, I figured out how to solve the problem. I said, oh, maybe if I log into my Google Plus account and I dispute this suspension, they'll lift it. And I suggested that to Dinah, and Dinah said, oh, then you should do that. So in reality, I never needed the chat at all. I would have fixed it myself. So Dinah did not help. Sorry to say, she did not help at all. YOLO Dopper cheered and says, now that your channel was gone for 5 hours.
I'm not even gonna approach that. It's obvious that whoever that is, I guess that's the person at YouTube support that helped him out. It's obvious she gave you some advice. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you... What am I talking? I'm acting like this guy's a humble human being, and he's not, so it is what it is.
Hours. It wasn't 5 hours. It was about 12, because it got shut down, I believe it was around 7 a.m., and it didn't come back until right before my second stream, which was around 6:30 p.m., so it was just under 12 hours. How will that affect your channel and search results? When YouTube sees you lost 1,000 subs in a day, will it have an adverse effect on your channel? I don't know. You're right. YOLO Dopper, what you're saying could be correct. It could be that because the channel was shown as suspect.
I love how they keep feeding his paranoia. It shouldn't, him losing 1,000 subs shouldn't hurt him either. It shouldn't hurt, like, how Google would rank him as it pertains to, like, him in the algorithm. It shouldn't. You know what I mean? Not over 1,000. If he lost, like, half of his subs, that might be something completely, that might be a completely different story. But not over 1,000 subs. I wouldn't think so.
Did lost its verified status and lost over 1,000 subs in a day, which none of which was my fault. Now the channel could now be penalized. Maybe it won't show up in search or whatever, you know. You're absolutely right. YOLO Dopper. The same thing happened in 2015.
Now, I got nothing against YOLO Dopper because he's good at doing this. Like, feeding Phil's paranoia. That shit's hilarious. But, Jesus Christ. It's just helping him get more money. Just helping those sympathy cheers to come right on in. It's hilarious.
When I had to delete a ton of pre-stream videos, I was instructed by YouTube to delete any pre-stream video that had artwork in it so that their automated system wouldn't give me false copyright strikes. I did. The channel lost millions of views, like it was like 3 to 4 million views at one go. And when that happened, the channel completely fell out of search results and was destroyed basically for like a year. So, yeah.
Now, let's go back on that. Phil talks about that particular incident to this day. And that was well over a year ago. That was a while ago. He's been complaining about that for the longest and whatnot. So obviously it wasn't a year. Phil has said that that screwed him over in the long term. Do I still think that has a negative effect on him? Yeah, it does. Now the question is did Google really tell him that? Or did YouTube really tell him that? I personally want proof. I want proof. I want to see the email. Or at least, I mean, he can block certain shit out. But I want to actually see some proof. I mean, come on, Phil. You don't mind, you know what I'm saying, screwing over your friends and putting text messages out there. You don't mind reading emails from Machinima. Read the email that said that that's what that's what YouTube told you to do. And he hasn't done it. And if that was really the case, you don't think Phil would have done that by now? To further cement his argument? He never does. So, what is the alternative to that? Oh, well, Phil panicked. He went ahead and privated a bunch of those videos, or he just flat out deleted them. And then when he finally got a hold of YouTube or Machinima or whoever the case may be, they looked at him and were like, why'd you do that? And he screwed himself. But we'll see. We'll talk about that in the future.
Yeah, see, they screw up. Their copyright system's broken, it doesn't work, it false flags me because of falsely placed copyright strikes. Their stupid spam detection algorithm robot falsely flags my Google Plus account for spam, shuts down my channel. I have to suffer the repercussions. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is a ridiculously bad business. It is. I'm sorry. It just is. And I have the evidence to prove it. That they just are terrible. And they need competition. And someone needs to step up. I hope it's Amazon. I hope Amazon steps up and has a video sharing service because I don't want to put up with this shit anymore. I'm so tired of it. Okay?
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 36-year-old man who's not even in control of his own life, not in control of his own fate or destiny, that is dependent on other people. Not only for his businesses, air quotes, but to live. To live. You know what I mean? Phil has no control over himself. It was just like when people found out about that MCN that turned out to be a honeypot or whatever the case may be. It was being like they had like a 13-year-old that was on oh no, that was Machinima. Machinima actually had like a 13-year-old that was like partial owner of the company. Was it Fatabi or whatever that MCN was? And come to find out the kid was like 19, 20, wasn't even drinking age, and he had full control of Phil's channel. You know what I mean? Until Phil, well, either they dropped Phil or Phil broke away. We'll never know who was telling the truth or not. But Phil's livelihood, his, at least as it pertains to the internet, will always be in someone else's hands. He needs to just accept it because he didn't take the steps needed to fix it, to try to make himself independent, to try to be his own boss, to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Phil has his own little forum, right? He could have had his own website. He could be doing reviews on his website, like so almost like a blog, but then he could also post his videos there. He could have advertisements and sponsorships for his website. He could still, don't get me wrong, he can still funnel stuff over to YouTube so he can make his little money there, and so on and so forth. But he could actually have his own full-blown website, like a lot of people do, and have all of his opinions there. He could have his little forum, but he could actually have a place where people could submit articles, things like that, and make money off of all that stuff. He could do that, but he's too lazy. And he could have done that early on. Didn't do it. He's too lazy. Didn't see a future in it. Yet you got people out here that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing it. But whatever. Anyway, another one of the curious cases of DSP and just the many things that happens in his life that's just silly. You wouldn't believe it unless you heard it. And for someone to be that old and not know better makes it baffles the mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. I'm your host / anchor, GTG. Thank you guys very much for showing up. I'm a little rusty, but hope to get back in the full swing. But thank you very much for coming in and listening to the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. In the broadcast.